Justin Field Pro Day. Man, this guy was balling. Justin Field was outstanding today. He made all the right throws. He made all the hash marks, throws, like the outbound throws. He had a few hiccups like many quarterbacks, meaning that it was a good throw, but it wasn't complete. Or he overthrew it, but it still was favored because it don't blame guys like you. We all understand why.